welcome back. Go ahead and push that red subscribe button and join the family. Welcome back to the channel. Those of you newcomers, go ahead and push that red subscribe button and join the family. Okay. Now we're going to get right into this. We're going to make some chicken noodle soup or chicken and noodles, either one you want to call it. If you make it watery, it's soup, and if you make it creamy, it's just chicken and noodles. Okay, we're going to use these noodles right here. I find that they cook up really easily. They are not a vegetarian noodle. They're just regular noodles, egg noodles. So this would be well, it's not going to be vegetarian anyway. But these are just regular egg noodles. And then we've got the cream of mushroom soup. We weren't going to use this because I was thinking it was going to be too much salt. But this one here only has the 410 milligrams of sodium, and with all the water we're using and chicken and everything, that's going to spread out and not be too much. We are going to use some fire roasted red peppers, some onion. We'll use a purple one and a white one, a little bit of the mixed green spinach mix, and we've got us a rotisserie chicken that we're going to cut up to make our life easier. So let's get into making this. People, we're just going to start cutting up everything. And let me find a few pieces before we get started so I don't have to stop or get sidetracked. I'm going to get those with everything we need. I'm getting it together. Well, right now, got all the pieces we need, and we're just going to get this party started. Okay, and put the noodles aside. We're going to put those on to boil in a minute, but we're just going to start getting all this stuff cut up. So go ahead and get you something to snack on so you can watch, and maybe even a pen and a piece of paper so you can take down the ingredients so that you can make this yourself. I told you, I got faith in you. You can make this, okay? So, go ahead and get these onions peeled. And I know how much I like watching other cooking shows, and I just like to see the full process. So today, I'm going to give you the long version and a full process of how this is done, because I do have a couple of people watching, you know, that are new cookers or, you know, new to cooking. So they're always saying, well, especially one of the gals lives in the same state I live in. And I've known her mom for a while. And she always says, Miss Mia, I don't know how you did this. And, you know, we always assume because we're used to making something, you know, many times that it's, you know, easy. But somebody who's new to cooking, some of the easiest things that we do can be really hard to somebody who's new cooking. So I think sometimes we get in our element of doing what we do and we forget about that. So I'm trying to be mindful of that when I'm cooking dishes, especially when they're traditional dishes that a lot of people like. And everybody wants to know how to cook chicken and noodles, okay? Because when it gets cold outside, it's nothing like coming home to a nice bowl of chicken and noodles. And, you know, even put some garlic bread or something on the side of it is always good too. Cornbread's good too. So, the people requesting me to cook this today are talking about cornbread. So y'all keep that in mind. I'm going to keep it in mind too, okay? I'm going to try to oblige them. I really am. Okay, ooh, today this onion is getting to me. It normally doesn't get to me like that, but it's kind of getting to me today. Let me go get me some. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Turn my eye up. Okay. All right, we're back in business. Now, we don't have any fresh mushrooms, but that's okay. because it's good to change up your recipe. You don't have to do the same thing all the time. Doing something new and different is always good. And now if I can get these out of here, I can use it. Okay. We had a request for roasted red peppers. This is something that's my mommy's favorite. So, and I'm cooking this for her and my dad. So I'm going to use these versus I would have used some fresh ones, but I'm all out of them anyway. So that turned out to be a good thing. And then you just turn this and you want to cut. Like I was telling you on some of the previous videos, sometimes cutting them up really small, I think it's because it allows that flavor to get through and through everything. It really makes it tasty. So I'm going to kind of follow along with that. I'm not going to use too many of these, but I am going to use some because this is going to almost, don't be alarmed, this is going to almost disappear into the mixture. But you know me, I like adding things that take up the nutritional value. And as long as you cut these up real small, like I said, this is going to dissipate into the mixture anyway. You'll be saying to yourself, did I even add that? That's how much it'll disappear into the mix. And those of you who have kids, this is a good way to put some greenery into your meals and your kids don't even know it, especially when your kids like chicken and noodles. You can say that, oh, that's just seasoning. That's seasoning. That's not nothing. That's seasoning. Yeah. And it'll taste so good to them that that's not even going to matter. Okay. We're going to put some of this stuff up and start working on this chicken since we've gotten all of our veggies cut up. All right, we're going to get into deboning this chicken. Like I said, just get you a rotisserie chicken, Kroger, anywhere that sells them, or bake you a chicken, whichever you prefer. I wanted to get make this a little bit easy on myself, and then you can just set this aside to collect up your bones. And as you're taking your chicken out, you're going to have a container nearby, and I've got my nearby containers right here, and I'm just going to be putting my chicken in there. I do this by hand. I don't need gloves and all that. I'm old school, so that doesn't bother me. So you're just going to take that. Do not use the skin here, or I don't. And you're just going to be taking this off the bone. And you can cut it up as you take it off the bone, or you can debone it and then decide to cut up all your chicken. It doesn't matter which order you do it in, as long as it gets done. See that? You got all that chicken off of there. Wait a minute. Got a couple more pieces. Make sure you're getting all your chicken. Okay, and I like to get rid of the gristle too. So this had a little bit of gristle on it. And then whatever you cut up, whatever you debone, you can just go ahead, cut that, and that can go on over into your bucket or container that you're using for your chicken. And you're just going to keep going, taking that skin off, putting it in your throwaway bucket, and then taking all the meat off of here and making sure you're getting all the bones. And you know, on the leg, there's a little pointy bone too you have to watch out for, so make sure you get that bone too. Yeah. We're just going to take all this off of here. And like I said, you get a little pile. And then you're just going to take, oh man, there's some gristle. Yeah. And then you're just going to take and just the next little, and you're just going to cut this up. And when you're cutting it up, if you find something you're supposed to remove, that's good. I thought there was a little gristle in there, but I didn't see any. So this pile is good. Scoop it up, put it on in there, and keep deboning your chicken. Yeah. I still consider it homemade if you buy a chicken, because they didn't do anything but put it in the oven and bake it. And that's the same thing you're going to do. So it's not really going to make that much of a difference. See, that's that little bony piece you want to make sure you get out of there. And when you're pulling this off of the leg part, just leave that gristle. You don't want it. Yeah, and then toss that to the next little side, and we're going to cut this up. Okay. All right. And this goes over in the bucket. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish deboning this chicken. Now I don't think you all need any more help with being able to do this. I think you can do this part pretty well. I don't think you'll not be able to debone the chicken. Okay. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's not too hard doing that. Just want to make sure you're getting all the meat that you can. That's the one thing I miss about being when I'm vegan or vegetarian is, you know, homemade meals like this, you know, chicken and noodles, you know, old-fashioned homemade meals like that you used to have. And then you want that, but I got news from you. I made I would say vegetarian chicken and noodles, and I'm gonna tell you, it was good. I'm, you know, matter of fact, I'm gonna think about doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that next time. I'm gonna have to make a vegetarian chicken and noodles, and I say vegetarian because I might be inclined to use some cream or something, but we'll see. We'll see. I might be able to do it vegan. I'll try as best I can to keep it straight up vegan. Okay. Because I have done that before, and I'm gonna tell you, it was delicious. And I don't know if when I was making it thin, because it's been so long ago, if I was really paying attention to whether it was vegetarian or vegan. I just know I wasn't using any meat. But you know, I got a girlfriend, and honey, she be down to the wire, and I'm like, look, life is too short to be that rigid about anything. You try your best to be as close to it as possible. So let me go ahead and finish deboning this chicken, and we're going to get ready to put those noodles on. We're filling up this pot that we're using for, I think the pot might be a little too big, but hey, my other pot, they cooked some popcorn in it, and it's not looking too good, so we're going to use this one. This should be enough water right here. Got this pan on for the water to boil. We're just going to go ahead and cut this on high. And once this water starts boiling, we're going to add those noodles. The water's hot. Time to put those noodles in there. And I've decided to use 2 packs instead of 1. Okay. Just in case we have some company over or something, we'll have enough to share. Okay. Spin that around. And we're going to come back to this when it's done. Now, you can put a tablespoon of oil in it if you don't want to ensure that your noodles don't stick together. That'll be just fine, okay? You can see why I like these noodles so well. You see that? These babies are pretty much they're pretty much done, I'm telling you. They take absolutely no time to cook. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scoop out about 2 or 3 cups of this water off of these, and I'm going to add 2 cups of this broth I've had, this bone broth I've had cooking all night, where I'm going to get some of the juice off of that and add that to the mix. Okay, this is the broth that I've been having cooking for like 24 hours, and I've gotten a cup of this, and the noodles, I've already skimmed off a lot of the water. They just barely have a layer over top of them. And then I'm going to pour this in, and I'm going to get me another cup of this broth. And all this broth is the leftover bones and things from actually a turkey that had previously been cooked. And there's another cup of that wonderful broth. Now, feel free to add another cup if you need to, but I'm thinking that's going to be enough for now. We got more broth, so if we need to get some more, we can. Okay, now we're going to put this back on the heat, and we're just going to stir that broth around in there. Now, what we want to do what I want to do first is I want to add some onion to this. You all know that onion opens up the pores of meat, and I don't know why, but I feel like when you put that onion in there, it starts allowing all of the flavors to go into the noodles. And now if this chicken had been one that I had just regularly baked, I probably would have seared it more, but we're just going to go ahead and add this chicken. Like I said, I'm not going to stress myself today. I'm going to make this an easy put together meal. And then I want it to be an easy put together meal for you guys too. Especially you all who are intently watching so you can make some real good chicken and noodles. Okay, look at that. Oh yeah. There we go. I think I am going to add a couple more cups of that broth to this. But I'm going to go ahead and put in the rest of the vegetables and let this cook up some. Now you can go ahead and get that greenery in there too. It's not even going to matter. Like I said, it's going to melt away and you'll be wondering, did you even add it? At this point, after we're adding all this, we are going to start adding our seasoning. Yeah. And you guys know, for me, it can never be too much onion. So I think that's about 2 onions. And that's not too much, not for me. But if it's too much for you, just do 1 onion. But I like onion. And with this cold weather, that's going to be a good thing too. So we're going to get our seasonings out and show you what we're going to add. The seasoning we're using, we're going to put a little bit of these green chilies in there. Some garlic powder and some smoked paprika with some white pepper. We're just going to get all that put in there. And this meal is pretty much done. You see this? It's pretty much done because your chicken was already done. You just want to get those veggies that you've added to it a little tender. And then add that mushroom soup. And we're going to put this on a bowl and let somebody get to eating it. Right, we added a half a teaspoon of each one of the seasonings and a half of a tablespoon of those green chilies. And now we're just going to pour that soup on in there. Yeah, you see that? We're just getting that poured in there. And I'm going to dip this can and get the rest of the juices out of them, put it in. This up and put the top on it, turn it down, and we're going to wait for it to thicken up a little bit because we want this nice and creamy. Okay, there we go. Now if you need to add a little cornstarch to this, you can, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. I think the soup will do the job. All right, so let's get the top on this. Turn it all the way down, or matter of fact, if you're cooking on an electric stove, you can just turn it off. All right. I'm going to wait a few minutes and come back and get this plated up or bowled up and get somebody eating. We've got our bowl, and we need to get in here and get us some of this so we can get somebody eating this. Look at that. Oh man, that looks scrumptious. Look at that. Yes, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, it's right here. All righty then. All right. Put a little something, something on top. And there you have it, people. Now that right there is delicious, people. Try that out. You better make this.